first ASMR video. I have been a long time ASMR listener. And lately, I have been greatly enjoying genshin ASMR specifically. So, as a day one genshin veteran, I thought it would be fun to try recording an account door ASMR video. So, let's get started. A little bit more background. I have played Genshin since of its release, and actually before that as well. So this is my profile. I had played the closed beta 3 test, and I had followed it for a while before then because honestly, Genshin looked like my dream game. And while I've had ups and downs with it over the years, and I've taken breaks sometimes, I do still like the game a lot. And playing it feels like coming home. So, we can see my character archive. You can see that I got Amber on the first day of the Genshin release. I think I had rerolled a few times to get a 5-star early, and luckily I only had to do 4 rerolls before I got Mona. As you can see, she was also here on day 1. I got most of the earlier characters, but started to take a break before Fontaine, somewhere around the desert region. And I haven't played as consistently since, especially not through Natlan. But this is still, I think, a pretty heavily invested account, and I would consider myself a dolphin. I generally do have Welkin, and I usually will buy the double top-ups whenever they reset on the anniversary patch. I haven't done that yet this time, but I probably will when Furina's rerun banner rolls around, because I'm hoping to get maybe C6 when that happens. I have gotten a lot of the skins, though unfortunately I did miss some of the free event skins. Let's see. Okay. I also thought today would be a great day Stygian Onslaught. So I'm a little bit of a tryhard for the in-game modes, but my account unfortunately does not have enough vertical investment to beat Dehya, especially because I don't have a lot of Natlan characters. In fact, all I have is Molani, who I love very much, and Keqing, who isn't very heavily invested. So my showcase here shows all of the limited characters that I have constellations for. You can see Furina, Yae Miko, Xianyun, Zhongli, Nilou, Walani, and Skirk. And all of the characters on this page also have 5-star weapons. Mostly their signatures, except Zhongli, who has Homa, and Ganyu, who has Amos bow. I'm also currently working on getting C2 Nilou through the 8-week constellation event, which I'm very excited for. I think for the next round for that, I will get C4 Yae Miko, and then C1 Hu Tao. And I think I already mentioned that I'm aiming for more Furina constellations when her rerun comes, which I think should be happening next patch. Let's see. It is a little laggy because I just reinstalled the NVIDIA driver, or the NVIDIA app, because microphone audio was not recording. So I think the new installation needs a bit of time to warm up or something like that. Okay, I think it's a bit better in my Teapot. I'll start by going through all of the characters I have at level 90, which is quite a few. You can see this is my full character collection. Most of my characters are built to level 70 for the Acquaint Fates and also Imaginary Leader, though I haven't gotten around to doing that for some of the characters I've gotten very recently. They will be built eventually, but I am low on resources for now. So, as you can see, my current main team is the Skirk Premium team, because I really liked Skirk's design from the first time I saw her in the Fontaine quest, and I just think she's really cool. And it was also really funny when she threw Child into the abyss, or that window crack thing. Yeah, that was really funny. So I do have her C1 R1 and double ground, and I think my build is like decent, I suppose. My Marechaussee set is better because I have this really good unset goblet for that, but I've been trying to get Finale of the Deep because it's more flexible, especially for theater and other cases where I can't bring Furina for some reason. And also it is her signature aesthetically, it is very pleasing. Now, Fiorina, she is my #1 favorite. I absolutely adore the Fontaine Archon quest, especially Act 5, and I don't think I'm over it, or ever will be. Yes, Fiorina is so good. I love her so much. I have her C3R1, and wow, this sword was really expensive because I pulled for it back when you still needed 2 fate points to get your chosen featured weapon, and I went to Soft Pity twice on Citroen's bow before I got her sword, which was really frustrating, especially because I don't have Citroen. But it was worth it for Fiorina because she deserves it. Okay, I am fairly pleased with my build. She is top 1% on the Akasha leaderboards for the 150% ER category, and hopefully I will get her C4 soon, which means I can reduce her ER and go for a different category. And I already have a goblet prepped for that, though I will need to reshape it probably a few more times to really get the best stat distribution. But this was a 4-liner to start, so that's very nice. I just need it to roll into everything except for attack, and then we're good. Yeah, so I have some pretty decent Fiorina pieces, though I am still continuing to try and get better Golden Troop pieces because, well, my 2 favorites use it, and Yae Miko, unfortunately, is only top 2% on the Akasha leaderboards. Also, because their formula for her leaderboards is, in my opinion, not great, because it doesn't really account for a lot of her main use cases, like just especially focusing on her E damage, especially if you have constellations. So, I promise my Yae Miko is really good. Yep, I do have her C3R1 as well. Okay, let's see some other characters. Yeah, like I said, I have the Skirk premium team. Not the biggest fan of Escavia's design, but I do like that she cooks for Fiorina, and she makes her happy. So, she gets a pass for that in my books. And of course, she makes all my freeze teams super, super strong, which of course is very nice. Shinna, I love very much, though, yeah, Escoffier is holding Calamity for now because that just works better on this team for the energy requirements and such. But yeah, she's just so pretty, and I love her character backstory. I actually did not get her until fairly recently because her first banner was right before Yae Miko's, and I lost 50-50. And then the subsequent 2 banners, well, I was inactive during them, unfortunately, so I missed those. But the most recent rerun, I finally got her, so I'm really happy about that. Like, I have prints of her on my walls, and I had those even before I actually had her on my account, which was a little awkward. But yes, she is here. Yay. Okay, Chiori. I really like her design and character as well. And I do have her weapon. No constellations, though I am hoping to get C1 someday. So she can be at full power even without another geoconstruct. I really like how she gives that 10% movement speed boost basically permanently on your exploration team. So, and because of her E as well, it's like Keqing. So, she is on my exploration team most of the time. And then the other geos. Oh yeah, wait, crowns. So I have crowned Chiori's E, double crowned Shenhe, none for Scoffia yet, but triple crown Fiorina, yep, double crown Skirk. And then Ito is actually triple crowned. I think he's hilarious. And I follow Genshin leaks, and I really liked his character even before he released because of how funny the voice lines were. Yes, and I also buy Battle Pass, so he does have R5 Serpent Spine. No constellations. An honestly rather crappy build, but I think that's kind of fitting, so I haven't put too much effort into improving it. Albedo is on some leftover golden troop pieces mostly. And his event weapon, which is very nice aesthetically. Do think he's a very interesting character. And then Zhongli, he was the first limited 5-star that I got constellations for. And back then it was actually primarily because I like playing co-op a lot with my friends and being able to give them a really giant shield was really nice. But of course I do like Zhongli a lot as well as a character. And his build is top 1% in the hybrid category on Akasha. And I have a Homa for him. I have 2 Homas actually, and Udal is holding the other one. At one point they had to share, which was pretty funny, but got a bit annoying to deal with. So, got another one. Triple ground. 2-piece for a hybrid burst build and shield build. As Xianyun, I loved her as a bird, even back before she had her human form. She was just so funny. And I really do I really loved her story quest, and that convinced me to get constellations for her as well. Of course, the fact that she's great for overworld exploration didn't hurt. I find that I often choose constellations for comfort and convenience. Of course, I have to like the character a lot as well. But that sometimes is the difference between me liking a character a lot and not getting their constellation versus actually going for their constellations. Yep, triple crowned. Okay. Yes, the Animo boys. So, I have a friend who is a huge Animo fan, especially for Venti, and she has Venti C6 R5 and many constellations for the other Animos. So I kind of feel like being enthusiastic about them is reserved for that friend. Oh no, wait, hold on. I think this happened because of theater, so I need to give him her back. There we go. And when I do use Xia, I will give him Hudal's Homa. And also Huta's Marashase set. For now, it's a placeholder. Because when I do a plunge team, it's usually with Furina and Xianyun. Yeah, Wander, it's got Widsith. Not a very solid build, to be honest. But, yeah. Okay, other enemies. Oh, so Jean is my only C6 character currently. And now that they've introduced level 95 and level 100, I do hope I get more of her. So that I can get level 100 Furina. But for now, for the standard selector, I actually went with Mizuki instead because I didn't have her and I wanted her. Funnily enough, though, shortly after that, I got a Mizuki from standard banner. So I regret it a little bit, but not too much because I do want Mizuki's C2 eventually. And as you can see, I'm not quite done building her yet. I can't believe I have to farm handcards again. I have farmed so many handcards over the years. At least they increased the drop rate with the world level update. But still not really looking forward to it. Okay, going back. Yes, Jean also gets one of my jade cutters and a very solid build, I believe. Yep, pretty solid. Let's see. Okay, Kenyu, yes. She was one of my first mains along with Keqing. And yeah, I also ship Keqing. I think they're very cute. So they will forever be in my character showcase. Even though I unfortunately do not have much of an opportunity to use her that much nowadays. But I have a lot of fond memories from back when I did. Now, Ayaka, I do have Miss Splitter, but Keqing is holding it. So, I don't really use Ayaka that much either, especially now that I have Skirk. But I do like her, especially her dynamic with Ayato. I think the Kamisato siblings are so cute. And I love this butterfly dress skin. The Fontaine movie event was really fun and cute. Now, Yae Miko. Yay! I love Yae Miko a lot as well, as you can tell, because she and Furina are my only C3 characters. I'm currently working on getting C2 Nilou from the Constellation event, but after that, the next time around, I will aim for C4 Yae Miko. And hopefully they'll allow for repeats for that event in future years, so I can eventually get C6 as well. I have her triple ground, of course, and her build is, in my opinion, quite good. But yeah, Akasha leaderboards say it's only top 2%, which I admittedly am a little salty about. And again, I don't think the teams that they use are really the best exactly, but that's okay. I am continuing to farm for golden trip pieces. I think the main problem is that my current goblet is an attack goblet because it just has such crazy roll value. And this is great for my use cases where I mostly use her for her E, and especially in Overworld because I use her in Overworld a lot. so I don't really use her burst. But the Akasha calculations don't really like that, and the Akasha calculations also don't account for constellations. But if they did, my Yae's build would definitely be top 1%. Moving on. So, I don't have her. I have her C0 R0, so I typically have her on a Hyper Bloom build, but I did put her back to her Hyper Carry build for the latest theater. And it was pretty fun to use her again as main DPS there. I do have her burst crowned, though her first story quest is actually what made me take a break from Genshin the first time, because the way that it was just very fan servicey felt a bit like a character assassination to me, especially because of some of the retcons for her personal motivations compared to what I understood from the Archon quest. I think it also didn't help that I have Ether instead of Lumine, so that felt unfortunately rather male-gazy, and I remember I was quite annoyed, so I took a pretty long break back then. But her second story quest was really great, and, well, not perfect because they did have to continue from the first part, so the references to part 1 were still reminders of my past annoyances, but the rest of the quest was great. Keqing, my first main. I still like using her whenever I can. In fact, I think I cleared the latest abyss with Keqing. And I pulled Miss Splitter for her. I had previously pulled Jade Cutter for her as well before Miss Splitter came out. And I currently have her on an Aggravate focused build. I only have C3, but I'm hoping to get C6 eventually. And Triple Crowned, of course. I used to be a fairly typical sweaty Keqing main, like the spreadsheet optimizer type, and I would do solo boss challenges, like no-hit challenges as well, with Keqing, and I still like her a lot. So, yes, fake cat girl. I admit, one of the things that drew me to her design in the first place was the little kitty ears. Even if they turned out to be hair, I do still like her design a lot. Lauma, I think. Yes, I pulled her recently for my Nilou team, and it is really nice for my Nilou to finally be meta again. And I'm really excited to get C2 Nilou to make her even more meta. But yes, the event weapon. I still don't have an EM circlet yet, so I'm using a 4-star placeholder. But everything else is mostly built. I have mixed feelings about her design, because there are some elements that are very pretty, but also some angles it's like, what are you wearing, girl? But you know what? That's fine. I think her deer form is very pretty, and it's really fun to prance around in it, which I have been doing a lot when exploring Notcry. Other dendros, I do have Kniech. Sasuke Japanese voice actors marketing won me over for this one. Even though I use Chinese voices most of the time, I switched to Japanese for some of the Natlan quest. Oh, that's a bit too loud for an ASMR video. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, my build isn't that stellar, and I still need to level his talent some more. Okay. I'll hit them. Yeah, I think, yeah, he's holding my other jade cutter. I do have two, I think, because I was pulling for another weapon that shared the banner after I had gotten the first one. I think I actually have 3 jade cutters. Wait. Yeah, I have 3 jade cutters. But yeah, it's great and versatile weapon. Let's see. Nahida. I have her signature. She is double crowned. And no constellations yet, though I'm thinking of going for C2 someday, maybe, if I have the wishes available with good timing. I really liked the Sumeru Art Conquest as well, and all the Sumeru characters mostly. I like them was great there too, and Dignary, and of course Nilou, who I think is my favorite of the Sumeru cast. Though I will say I like her original outfit more. It's just so gorgeous, so iconic. But I have her skin equipped because I feel like since she's on my showcase, if I don't have her skin equipped, it might seem like I didn't get her skin and I'm not treating her well. So I have to make sure that my showcase displays the fact that I am a proud Nilou fan who will get everything that she needs. That's a little silly, I know, but what else? I mean, a lot of things I do in Genshin are just silly and what I want to do, and that's how I have fun. Oh man, so this piss paddle, sorry, that's what I call her weapon. It's a piss paddle. Isn't it so ugly? But it did come on the weapon banner at literally 1 pity, so I can't be too mad at it. Yes, and again, I am aiming for the C2 from the event. So, there she is. Then Ayato has my 3rd jade cutter. And I have so many good gladiator pieces. I think his build is also top 1% on Akasha, even though I didn't put too much effort into it. And yes, Ayato and Ayaka each have 1 crown. I think they're so adorable. I really like their sibling dynamic. Yelan. I love the new skin, especially the hair. I think I wasn't the biggest fan of her hair in her base skin. So to me, this is a really nice upgrade. Yeah, a fairly basic build as well. Kokomi. Kokomi. I love her very much. She was the first character that I tried to cosplay. Yes, I also cosplay sometimes. But yeah, she's currently on a flop build, Flower Paradise Lost. So she has really things for my Nilou Bloom team, and she is double crowned, and I do plan on getting a triple crown eventually. Mona was my first 5-star, so she does hold a bit of a special place in my heart for that. Although I think I stole an artifact recently for the theater, because she didn't really need a full set to perform well there, and I was low on pieces. Man, the new theater update requires even more characters. It's kind of insane. I'm mostly okay with it because I'm very much a veteran, but I feel bad for newer players trying to complete that mode because you need so much horizontal investment, so many build characters. Now, Father, yes. Man, Arlie, I have her C0 R1 and still on Gladiator because I have really good pieces for that. Though I think she's still only top 4% on Akasha, but she does quite well, and I didn't really want to leave the Golden Troop Mines just yet. Fun fact for probably most people who aren't aware, but in the early beta game files, apparently the voice direction notes for Arlecchino described her as a Tia T, which is the Chinese term used by the Chinese Sapphic community to mean stone butch lesbian, essentially. There are some nuances in how that differs from the Western interpretation, but I think that's a huge win for Sapphics. Yep. Arle is iconic, and I very much look forward to her interactions with the rest of the Harbingers in Notcry, though I haven't done the new quest yet, so no spoilers, please. Yes, like Arle says right here. Shh. Okay, Dehya. I love Dehya a lot, and she is another fake cat girl, which seems to be a certain weakness of mine. And she was fantastic in the Sumeru Art Conquest, of course. And I use her mostly as my pyro applicator on my Molani team because I do not have Mafuika or Pyro Traveler because I have not yet finished the Natlan Art Conquest either. Yeah, I have a lot of story to catch up on. But I do hope I can get C2 someday, so I no longer have to use Sack Sword on her. Yeah, I need to level her talents at some point too. Okay. Yae Miko. I think she was one of the first 5-stars who actually came home early for me at less than 3 pity. I think the first 2 years of my Genshin career, I had horrendously bad luck and never got early 5-stars. So, the fact that Yae Miko brought good luck to my account makes me think of her very fondly. And of course, she is a fantastic character. Yes. So, I don't really use her much, unfortunately, because I do have quite a few other pyro options. But seeing her always puts a smile on my face. Hotel! I love this new skin. It's so pretty, although it does lose a bit of her iconic vibe, but I still do like it. She's triple crowned and has Homa, and she's a Marashase because I use her on a plunge team with Furina, Xianyun, and Yalan. I don't have any constellations yet, though eventually I'll get C1 from the limited constellation event. But it doesn't really make too much of a difference for me because I play her on a plunge team. Klee is so cute, and I look forward to her interactions with her mom in Not Cry and beyond. Okay, so 4 stars. I only have 2 level 90 4-stars. The first is Layla. I think her design is so pretty, and I love her character concept and characterization. I also love that you can just idle and sleep in her crystal shield. It's so cozy. I have her C6, thankfully, and double crowned on Favonius. I think her build is fairly decent. Now, Kaveh is my second level 94 star, and I also love his design and character very much. Let's see, I used him in my Nilou Bloom team at intervals, and I might do that again sometime for more single target focused bosses. Though his kit is a bit of a travesty, I find a way to make it work because I like his character very much. Though I have some mixed feelings about how much he is associated with Alintha, because while I do like the ship as well, I think sometimes focusing too much on it can obfuscate the individual characters involved and some of their most interesting aspects. But yes, Mizuki. I got her from the standard selector from Anniversary, and yeah, I think I mentioned I got her constellation shortly after on standard, but I don't regret it. Her design is very pretty, even though I do wish her skirt was just a little bit longer. But I love her colors and her hair and the rest of her design, and the focus on therapy, and her voice is so soothing. Definitely would be great at ASMR. I think she could do an ASMR therapy channel. And yeah, I just really love that we have therapy canonically in Genshin, because so many characters really need it. Oh man, like, I wonder if we'll get Mizuki and Furina interactions someday. I feel like there's probably fanfics and fan art about it already that I should look for. But that's a very obvious interaction for me. I do really like the little anecdote that these two had too. That was really cute. Okay, I think that's all of my level 90 characters. Yes, oh, except the Traveler. Okay, so I have some unstarred characters. Either mostly because mentioned that I do regret choosing him instead of Lumine. Back then, I didn't really have much of a preference, and either was faster for traveling, and I thought that would matter a lot because I was trying to do rerolls for a 5-star. But that was a really haphazard decision that I do regret, because playing as either does paint a lot of the interactions with female characters in a way that's more male-gazy and fanservice-y than I would like. Kazuha's mostly because I used him so much, so frequently over the years. Oh shoot, wait, who's holding? Yeah, I do have a sig too. Who's holding it? No one. Wait, what happened? That was weird. Oh, and I think Mizuki stole his artifacts. Oops. But yeah, I think I just got tired of using him because he was on pretty much all of my teams for like 4 years or so. No hate to Kazuha or his fans or anything. I just got tired. Same thing with Singtiel. And then Child is not level 90 mostly because I really like making fun of him. Like in a semi-fond way, I think, like kind of the energy of, like, you know, when Skirk yeets him into the void. I just think it's really funny to make fun of him. And then Nilou, man, so he was one of the first 5-stars I had gotten to back in 1.1, I think, and I was trying really hard to full star clear Abyss, and I used him as one of my DPSs because they were really shilling Pyro back then, and I just remember being slightly traumatized by how much I was mauling over trying to clear floor 12, especially with that one Fadui cryo gunner with the ice trap aura. I just kept on dying and dying and dying to that. And then after that, Nilou came and ruined some important 50/50s for me, so that worsened my impression. But yes, yeah, so that's my characters. And now I think I'll give a quick little Teapot tour. As you can see here, I am a huge fan of Yae Miko and also Furina. Although I can't keep those 3 out for long because they will attack anything and everything. And I do not really like having my HP below full, which is something that I struggle with a lot whenever I use Furina. So that's another big reason I am aiming for a C6 next, because she can heal as well. Yay! I really hope I have good luck there. I guess if needed I can wail, but we'll see how it goes. I can't wail too much. I love all of the little collectible furnishings, like the almighty Shogun, the Narukami Yokosho or something. I forget the full name, but that event was really funny. The little Aranaras, Nahida's birthday carriage, and let's see, oh, so many other also have a few large furnishings back here from Lantern Rights, and I also have this little floating platform set up that requires characters who can have vertical mobility. So let me just go ahead and climb up. Oh, oops. There we go. And then we're rewarded with a little meow. Yep, I love cats. And I have some kites here, and we can go inside a little bit. Here's my Yae Miko little office space for her to work on publishing and such, and writing letters to Kokomi. That's a bit of a rare pair that I enjoy. I guess there are a lot of ships that do resonate with me. I don't really. I'm not really like a staunch shipper of anything, really. I'm a multi-shipper. I think that one is cute. This is Kokomi's room, though currently Dehya and Loma are here for friendship. And here's my fish tank. The kitties are in front so they can appreciate the fish. Mizuki is here for friendship, though I think I might keep her here after that too, because it seems like a fitting spot. My kitchen. And then here is a bedroom that Eva is currently in for friendship, but usually it would be a Liyue character like Keqing. And then here's Furina's little kitty nook. I put as many cats as possible in here because Furina deserves happiness, and cats equal happiness. Yes, I'm not biased. So, more cats. And here's my library. Let's see. And here's another office space. Don't really used to live here, but I have a lot more characters that aren't max friendship than I used to, because I haven't been playing as often. So I don't have enough companion slots for that. Okay, so we can do a bit of a quick tour of my other islands, though this video is getting quite long. Sorry that I went on and rambled about all the characters so much, but yeah, I don't really have anything planted yet, but I used to collect a lot of seeds and plant all the time here. Yes, here are my funny creatures. And then this is a nice little village that also has a little hide and seek game, though nobody has played it for a while. And the hot springs. And up there I have a little snowman, so we can go up and see him. isn't too loud. Oh wait, that was kind of pointless since I need to climb anyway. Okay. Anyway, here's my little snowman. And then I like this spot a lot because when it's nighttime, the moon comes out and you can sit here and gaze at it. Like that. Yep. And then my final island. Actually, you know what? I'll just run over to it and simultaneously showcase my C2 Xianyun. It's just so convenient. Let me see where it is. Yeah, okay, over there. Okay, here we are. Ta-da! So this is a little courtyard, and I made this area mostly so I could practice Hutal jump cancels from back when I didn't have a plunge team, so before Xianyun released. And I didn't have quite a lot of fun practicing here. It was also useful for practicing some other combat techniques, just having a nice little flat empty space here. I do wish that we would get a training dummy at some point. But yeah, and here's a little snow fox. The animals in Genshin are so cute, and the designs are great. So, let's see. I think this video is already getting quite long, but guess. Wait, what is this icon thing? I think I missed an event or something, but that looks fun. Yeah. Oh wait, I can show you my friend with the C6 R5 Venti. Very impressive. There he is. Oh wait, yeah, C6, there you go. I think that's probably it for today's video. I'm not sure if I'll be making another one at some point, but if I do, see you then, and thank you for watching. I hope that this was relaxing and fun for you as well.